Plaintiff Tammy Clark says she met the defendant a couple of years ago and they became good friends. Tammy claims over time the defendant started acting strange, and Tammy suspected she was abusing Adderall. Tammy's suing her former friend for a loan, rent, and electric bills. Defendant Denise Taylor says Tammy can be a sweet lady, but she's all over the place with her emotions. Denise says 1 minute Tammy loves her and the next minute she hates her. And just a week ago, she invited Denise to go on a trip with her.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
In 2014, I met Denise through a meetup group that my boyfriend was a member of.
What type of group?
It's called Meetup. If you Google Meetup, it gets people together who have the same interests. And so we hit it off right away. We were really good friends. She has a great sense of humor. She would invite me to dinner and to happy hour, and we would go, and the bill would come and it would sit there forever. And so I finally would pick it up, and I don't want to say she's cheap, but that would happen. Yeah. And then she would invite me over for a glass of wine, and then she'd say, oh, by the way, pick up a bottle of wine on the way over. And
that is funny.
It is. And she would get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go to work, and I was just always just flabbergasted that she would work so hard. And then it just kind of, I suspected something was not right, and it turned out that one of her family members was taking Adderall, and I don't know anything, but I mean, I suspected Denise was taking her family member's Adderall.
That ain't no Adderall, that's crack.
And
you ever smoke crack?
No.
What you doing up at 3 in the morning?
I just have a very strong work ethic.
What you doing up at 3 in the morning?
I go to work at 3 in the morning.
Oh, okay. All right, you want to give me some background on your friendship?
You know, I've known Tammy for quite a few years, and she's a super sweet lady. She really is. But, you know, she used to come over to my house, and we'd have a couple glasses of wine, and she would always tell me all about her family. We'd talk about our family and stuff. You know, she's like all over the place. 1 minute she loves me, 1 minute she hates me. She calls me bad names. Just last week, Your Honor, she texted me and asked me if I wanted to go to Atlantis with her. And, Your Honor, I have the text message to prove it.
Oh,
just last week. It's like this.
we'd always planned on it.
You are a liar and a thief. This is you saying to her. You are a con artist.
Yep.
Just in the next minute, hey, I'm planning a trip to Atlantis.
It's not the next
We always said we would go together. Go ahead.
And we went through the divorce about the same time, and she just was having so much bad luck, and I just really wanted to help her. We were good friends. I loved her like a sister. I still love her as a sister.
So what happened with the loan and the rent and electric bills? What was the agreement and what occurred?
She was living in an apartment that was not a really nice place, and I was moving out of my 4-bedroom home. And I said, you know, if you want, you can move into the house. I will help pay by using one room upstairs. You can have the rest of the house. And
what was her amount?
$1,000 a month. And mine was $300. I had one room upstairs. We signed a lease agreement, and we signed a roommate agreement.
You have that?
Yes, I do.
All right. And how did she violate it?
Help me. Where's the lease agreement?
Why don't you just tell me first?
Okay,
then?
there it is.
Thanks.
The agreement was that she was supposed to take my name off of all the utilities. She was going to pay her portion of the rent. She was going to pay all the utilities. and she was going to send the whole check to the landlord.
So you gave her the 300?
Yes, I did.
And she didn't forward it to the landlord?
Sometimes she did.
Okay. So what months are you clear
Okay.
that she failed to use the money
Okay.
in the way for the reason you paid her?
She was late several months. I kept getting text messages from the landlord. It blew up in March when she said that she sent one check, and the landlord texted me again the next week saying, well, I haven't received it, so she sent another check. And the landlord texted me, said, okay, now we're 21 days late. So I ran and got a certified check and ran it over there and gave it to the landlord. Yeah. And I've got a text message from Denise saying, okay, I will pay you. And when I showed up, she gave me my $300 check back.
What months did she fail to pay the utility bills?
Okay, it was still in March. She called, the utility called me and said that she was 3 months late and they were going to turn off the electric bill.
You did pay it, obviously.
I did pay it.
All
the
right.
first one was $271. She says she will pay me, and she hasn't.
All right, and the loan, what about that?
Okay, in December, she called me and said, I need to talk to you. You need to come over. I'm desperate. You need to come over.
Bring a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
I should have. I went over there, and she didn't have any money to pay for her children's Christmas, and there was also something about a phone I didn't really understand.
And you loaned her
$500, and the next week she paid me $40 back.
Okay. And when was the balance to be paid?
As she could afford it.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am, what do you say to this?
Okay.
Rent,
Well,
loan,
you know what?
and utilities.
A year into my relationship with Tammy, I realized that Tammy was a hoarder. And I have pictures to show you the picture of. The $500 that she's referring to was when I cleaned up the house for her, and she paid me $500 to clean up that house. And I have pictures to prove
that
it.
is a lie.
I have pictures to prove it, sir.
Lie.
This is how this woman lives.
Now, but it's hard to get rid of a whole lifetime of memories. I have 4 bedrooms worth of furniture that
She has
I am.
5 storage units.
What part of the house is this?
That's my sewing room. That's my sewing room. And that's what I was renting from her for $300 a month. Unorganized. I'm bad at organizing.
There you go. Yeah. And if you keep going with those adjectives, you're going to come to nasty.
Yeah.
My mother them gossiped about it. They didn't say they're hoarding when they talked about each other. They said, oh, such and such dirty. They say, dirty red is nasty. I said, Mama, why y'all call her dirty red? Because she light skinned and she nasty. All right, so you claim that was to clean this stuff up.
It wasn't.
Did she clean this room?
Yes, you know what? She did clean
How
my
does the
room
room
because
look
it was
now? You have any after?
Yeah,
It was
some of
a-
those pictures are the after pictures of cleaned up. See the clean rooms? Those are the rooms.
the clean
You better
room.
show me the after.
Yeah.
Judge, the clean room was my birthday present she gave me.
Where's the check?
Check is right here.
All right,
There
got
you
it.
go.
Before.
You loaned her $500,
Yes.
and
She paid me $40 back.
you loaned her this money in December, was it?
December.
And she paid you $40 back.
Yes.
And your birthday.
March 24th. And that's when she
I
cleaned
did
it
that. I cleaned up her craft room way after I
When did
moved
you
in.
clean it up?
The cleaning up that started
When?
in November. When I moved in, I couldn't
Ma'am,
live there
did she
until
start
I
in
cleaned
November?
it up.
No.
When did you finish cleaning?
It took me about 2 weeks to clean that. After working all day, I'd come home and clean house. I had 25 bags of trash that she refused
That's
to let
a
us
lie,
throw
too.
it away.
That's
She
a
took
lie.
it and put it all in her van and took it home. The trash bags. She was afraid to death that I was going to throw something away, so she went through all the bags of trash.
She sounds very convincing, ma'am. And I'm looking at these pictures. She cleaned this up very well. What about the rent and electric bills?
Okay, She also, here is a copy of the check where I paid the electricity bill. It is signed by her. Here's the back of the check showing that she paid it and signed
She
to her.
shows
She
me-
did have to pay it, but I paid her back.
Tammy
And
Clark, she paid you $260.
got the
She
check
has
right
for
there, front and back.
March of 16.
I paid for the utility bill, and I have a text message saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are so good for doing this."
Let me see
Yeah,
that.
and then I paid her back.
Let me see that. What about the rent as she looks for
Okay,
that?
Your Honor, I have
There it is.
pictures of every rent payment I made. Okay, I have every month. You can see in here.
So you don't owe for any rent?
I do not believe so, no. I went to the bank and I got copies of every rent check
What is that you have?
Cashier's check that I had to go and pay for the rent. Cashier's check.
How did you find this among all that junk?
That's a good one.
That was
Oh, she lives with
$1,300.
John now, and he's a control freak, so I'm sure he's the one that did it.
All right. Then what do you have there?
I
with
have-
your rent
oh,
payments?
yeah, I've
what
got-
months are you alleging she failed to pay, ma'am, in rent?
No, that was it. She paid the rest of them late, but that was the only one that she didn't pay.
And she said she paid everything. So I'm
She's a
gonna
liar.
look
You can look at every check there.
May 16,
It's due on the 1st.
everything but March 16, ma'am.
The rent's due on the 1st.
You have every month except for the one she's suing for. Any other text messages you want to make reference to so I can see you all lying to each other? Maybe that'll make it
Yeah.
easier on me. So far, you got your rent. What else?
Here is the utility bill that she was always 3 months late. March is 17th. I paid $271.
And she says she paid March in March. She
April.
provides me with something in March for $260.
April
And you say
5th.
it was $271. So she owes you $11. That's what I'm going with. And
Sorry, Your Honor.
mercy. And the loan, you say it's for cleaning.
Yes.
You knew you would
And
win that if
yeah.
you showed me those pictures, huh?
I moved everything up in that room really quickly, so I didn't get to organize. And she was so kind to organize it for my birthday.
I'll grant you $1,000 for your rent, ma'am. That's all I'm convinced of. I'm not sure about the loan. I'm not sure about the electric. Well, I am
Here's-
sure. I believe that $260 went towards that. So I'll give you $1,011. That's your judgment. Have a good day.
I just want to know, had you planned this whole along to scam me, or were we ever friends?
Oh, we were friends.
And
We
you
were really
scammed-
good friends. And
you
something
took
happened to you,
everything-
Tammy. I don't know what happened, but something
Because
happened
you
to you.
stole money from me.
I
That's
never
it.
stole
Yes, you
anything
did.
for you.
I
You
drove
know-
you to your vacation when you couldn't pay me money. I drove you to the airport because you could afford a vacation, but you couldn't pay me.
You know, I told you that vacation was paid way back in January.
You're a liar again.
No, not a liar.